Displays of power in body language. Displays of power are an important aspect of body language that refers to the cues that a person uses to assert their power or authority. The display of power in body language is the use of nonverbal cues, such as posture, gestures, and facial expressions, to communicate dominance and authority. People who are trying to display power may stand tall and take up a lot of space, make strong eye contact, gesture expansively, touch others in a confident manner, and dominate personal space. These body language cues can be used to assert one's position of power over others or to convey confidence and leadership. It's important to note that while these cues can be effective in conveying power, they can also be perceived as aggressive or domineering if used excessively or in the wrong context. There are a few ways that people can use body language to display power. 1. Standing tall and taking up space. Standing with good posture and taking up a lot of space can make a person seem more powerful. 2. Making eye contact. Making strong and sustained eye contact can show confidence and power. 3. Gesturing expansively. Using large, sweeping gestures can convey power and authority. 4. Touching. Touching others in a confident and assertive manner, such as patting someone on the back or shoulder, can convey power. 5. Dominating personal space. Standing close to others and invading their personal space can make a person seem more powerful. It's important to note that while these body language cues can convey power, they can also be perceived as aggressive or dominant if used excessively or in the wrong context. Here are a few things that displays of power can indicate. 1. Dominance. A person may use certain body language cues to assert their dominance, such as by taking up more space or standing in a dominant posture. Dominance in body language refers to the use of nonverbal cues, such as posture, gestures, and facial expressions, to communicate authority and control. People who are trying to display dominance may stand tall and take up a lot of space, make strong eye contact, gesture expansively, touch others in a confident manner, and dominate personal space. These body language cues can be used to assert one's position of power over others and to convey confidence and leadership. It's important to note that while these cues can be effective in conveying dominance, they can also be perceived as aggressive or domineering if used excessively or in the wrong context. 2. Submissiveness. A person may use certain body language cues to convey their submissiveness, such as by taking up less space or avoiding eye contact. 3. Status. A person's body language can sometimes convey their social status or rank, and people may use certain cues to assert their status. Status in the context of body language refers to a person's perceived social standing or rank within a group. People can use body language to display their status or to try to increase their status in the eyes of others. For example, someone who is trying to display high status might stand tall and take up a lot of space, make strong eye contact, gesture expansively, touch others in a confident manner, and dominate personal space. On the other hand, someone who is trying to display low status might shrink themselves down, avoid eye contact, and use submissive gestures. It's important to note that while body language can be a useful tool for conveying status, it is just one aspect of social interactions and should be considered alongside other factors such as verbal communication, clothing, and behavior. Imagine that you are at a business meeting, and you are the CEO of the company. You want to convey your high status to the other attendees. You might use body language to do this by standing tall and taking up space. You might stand up straight and spread your arms or legs to take up more space in the room. Making strong eye contact. You might make sustained eye contact with the other attendees and not look away, showing that you are confident and in control. Gesturing expansively. You might use large, Sweeping gestures to emphasize your points and show that you are in charge. Touching. You might pat others on the back or shoulder in a confident and assertive manner to convey your power and status. Dominating personal space. You might stand close to others and invade their personal space to make yourself seem more powerful. Using a deep, confident voice. You might speak in a deep, confident tone to show that you are in charge. Maintaining a dominant facial expression. You might keep a confident, dominant expression on your face to show that you are in control. Please subscribe our channel if you want more videos like this. Press the bell icon. For authority, a person's body language can sometimes convey authority or power, and people may use certain cues to assert their authority. 5. Confidence. A person's body language can often convey their level of confidence, and people may use certain cues to assert their confidence. Confidence in the context of body language refers to a feeling of self-assurance and belief in one's own abilities. People who are confident often carry themselves with poise and self-assurance, and they may use body language to convey this confidence to others. It's important to note that while body language can be a useful tool for conveying confidence, it is just one aspect of communication and should be considered alongside other factors such as verbal communication and behavior. 6. Culture. As with other aspects of body language, the way that people use displays of power can vary significantly between cultures, and it is important to be aware of these differences to avoid misunderstandings. 7. Context. It is important to consider the context in which displays of power are being used. For example, certain body language cues may be seen as dominant in a business setting, but they might be seen as aggressive or inappropriate in a social setting. 8. Nonverbal leakage. As with other aspects of body language, displays of power can sometimes reveal a person's true feelings or intentions even if they are trying to hide them. This is known as nonverbal leakage, and it can be an important aspect of body language to pay attention to. 9. Training. Some people may be able to improve their ability to recognize and interpret displays of power through training or practice. This can be helpful in a variety of situations, such as in negotiating, sales, or leadership. 10. Consistency. It is important to pay attention to the consistency of a person's displays of power over time. If a person's use of displays of power changes significantly, it may be a sign of a change in their feelings or intentions. Consistency in body language can affect the way that power is displayed because it helps to reinforce the message being conveyed. If a person's body language is consistent with the words they are saying and the message they are trying to convey, it will make their message more believable and trustworthy. On the other hand, if a person's body language is inconsistent with their words, it can create confusion and undermine their message. For example, if someone is trying to convey power and confidence through their body language, but their body language is inconsistent or unsure, it will be difficult for them to effectively convey their message. For example, imagine that you are trying to convey power and authority to a group of coworkers during a meeting. If you are speaking confidently and using strong body language, but then you start to fidget and avoid eye contact, it will undermine your message and make it harder for you to effectively convey your power and authority. On the other hand, if you can maintain consistent, confident body language throughout the meeting, it will help to reinforce your message and make it more believable to the other attendees. Some characteristics of body language that can be used to display power. Dominating personal space. Standing close to others and invading their personal space can make a person seem more powerful. Using a deep, confident voice. Speaking in a deep, confident tone can convey power and authority. Maintaining a dominant facial expression. Keeping a confident, dominant expression on your face can also convey power. Being consistent. Maintaining consistent body languages, such as good posture and confident gestures, can help to reinforce the message of power being conveyed. Being aware of cultural norms. It's important to be aware of cultural differences in body language and to understand how different cues may be interpreted in different cultures. Being authentic. It's important to be genuine and authentic in your body language, as trying to fake power or confidence may come across as insincere or manipulative. It's important to note that while these body language cues can be effective in conveying power, they can also be perceived as aggressive or domineering if used excessively or in the wrong context. It's also important to be aware of cultural differences in body language and to understand how different cues may be interpreted in different cultures. In conclusion, a body language is a powerful tool that can be used to communicate dominance, authority, and confidence. People who want to display power may use body language cues such as standing tall and taking up space, making strong eye contact, gesturing expansively, touching others in a confident manner and dominating personal space. These cues can be effective in conveying power, but they can also be perceived as aggressive or domineering if used excessively or in the wrong context. It's important to be aware of cultural differences in body language and to understand how different cues may be interpreted in different cultures. Consistency in body language is also important, as it helps to reinforce the message being conveyed. Overall, body language is an important aspect of communication and can be a useful tool for conveying power and confidence in social interactions.